Hi everyone, I'm back in nature. You can kind of see my greenhouse over there. A little bit of my garden beds. And then there he is. There she is. My beautiful girl. My grocery store. My grocery store. Are we back? Okay, we're here. Come back. So today I'm talking all about trusting, learning how to trust ourselves. And how do we do that? It's kind of like its own thing. But what would be possible for you if you could be there? There we go. What could be totally possible for you if you were able to trust yourself? Okay, hopefully I don't fall anywhere. But when we are not trusting ourselves, we're second guessing ourselves, we're overthinking everything, and that's what we're going to dive into today. We're going to talk more about learning how to trust yourself. And we struggle with this, so we have to start somewhere. So the way that we get disconnected in the first place is that we're doing everything to please other people. We're focusing on answering people the way that they want to hear it. We're pre-thinking about how we should respond. We're thinking about what someone else wants to hear. And we're even playing out a whole movie in our mind of how things are going to go. Am I going to reconnect? Am I going to reconnect? Oh my gosh, it keeps sending messages. Okay, please stay connected. We have been conditioned to believe that we need to appease everybody. We need to make sure everybody is happy. And a lot of times for women, it's a thing. This is a thing because we're nurturers, we're wives, we're moms, we're sisters, we're all sorts of things. And intrinsically, we want to nurture people. We want people to feel good around us. We want to be happy. And we've also been conditioned to believe that everybody else has the answers and not us. We've been conditioned to believe that we have to seek all of the answers outside of us. Everybody kind of knows better than us. We need to ask everybody for advice. And we do that before we even tap into our own intuition, our own self. And all of this creates this disconnection, this disconnection. I don't even know what's going to be missing now because it keeps. But when we are not trusting ourselves, we're always seeking the answers from a place that isn't the place we need to go. The place we need to go is inside. And when we're constantly seeking validation or permission, if it's cutting out, it seems to be telling me that I'm not on all the way. So sorry if it's cutting out. But a lot of times we stay stuck in this because we're scared that we're going to make the wrong decision. We don't trust ourselves enough that we're going to make the right decision, because our mind loves to go to the past and it loves to say, see, look at all these times that you made all these bad decisions and they got you here, and you would be here right now if you didn't do this and you didn't do that. And I think that it holds you back from so many different things that we go through in our life, and concepts and decisions that we did or didn't make, right? But the intuition is there in the background the whole time speaking to us. It's there. It's telling us how to, I'm here. I have the answers for you, but you don't want to hear them. You're not willing to hear them, or you're scared to hear them. And that's a big one, being scared to hear them, because so many times our intuition will tell us to do something, and we will be so paralyzed with fear. We're like, no way am I making that leap. No way am I going to do that. No way am I going to say that. But when we tap into that and start following that, it starts opening up so much clarity and power. It feels so empowering to go forward and know that you're following what's right for you. And until you start doing those things and actually following it and pushing past the fear and doing it and saying the thing anyway, or taking the leap or doing the thing, you won't feel. Are we reconnecting? You won't actually feel that feeling that it feels like so much deep, that empowerment piece that has been missing. We're like, oh, I feel so connected. I finally made a decision that's right for me. Didn't matter what anybody else thought or anybody else is thinking or saying. I made that decision and it feels so right for me. And you know it. It feels so good. Like it's one of those things that you just like, oh, hopefully that didn't offend somebody. Hopefully that didn't hurt somebody. But you know what? I wasn't just putting on a show or putting on an act or putting on a mask that wasn't really who I truly am. And I said what I feel and I followed my truth and it felt so good and it felt so right. And you have to do that a bunch of times in order to feel it. You have to feel that energy of self-trust. It feels calm, it feels expansive, it feels grounded, it feels like you're coming home to yourself. And you might take flack from people. I don't know why it's saying it doesn't like where I am because I'm closer to the house than I was before. But there's so much groundedness in this moment when you are you. So what do you need to do to tap into that? What have you been doing in the past avoiding tapping into that? Why are you avoiding tapping into that? I want you to look at all the different times that you felt that you had to be somebody else, that you couldn't be you. And when you look at those things and you ask yourself why, you can get a little bit closer to the answers and you can see the disconnect. But then you can also see the possibility of, I knew I should have said that. What if I had said yes? Or what if I had done that or responded differently? Where would I be right now? Like, oh, if I had followed through and finished that thing that I really wanted to instead of getting really scared of completing something or doing something or saying something, where would I be right now? It's not about dwelling on the past. It's about seeing that when you would have listened to your intuition, it would have been okay. You would have been safe. You were allowed to do that. And when you stop trusting yourself, or you start to trust yourself and you stop waiting for other people to give you all the answers, it just feels amazing. You're not overthinking so much. You're not running around worrying about everybody else's feelings. That can consume so much space in our minds. And indecision for people, like it can be as small as, what restaurant are we going to go to tonight? Are we going to go here or here? And oh, I can't think about it. It's so hard to decide. You know, all of this stuff creates so much emotional clutter in our mind and takes up so much space. And we have to be able to release that clutter. A lot of that clutter is in the way of hearing your intuition. So when you release that and you start following it and you say, oh my gosh, I did it. I was like so true to myself and it felt so good. You were creating more space for your intuition to come in and more answers, and it's easier and easier to respond. And that's where the magic happens. That's where it feels so right. And when you start following it over and over and over and over, you just start going in a different direction than you ever thought possible. When you're focused more on how can I get reconnected with who I am and follow my dreams and do all the things that I want to do, instead of I'm living a life, because maybe you're living a life and you're living it for somebody else and it's their dream and it's not your dream. That's a big part of that. And so we're just doing life and letting life to us, right? And we're not being an active role, taking an active role in changing the trajectory because of fear, because of overthinking, because of all of these things, looking at the past, seeing how we're distracted by things. But when you start taking bold action that's aligned with who you are and do things out of your comfort zone, it's like, wow. Oh, sorry. I scared her. Oh, you're so cute. So this isn't just a mindset shift. This is softening and quieting your life enough and getting regrounded to be able to hear for the answers. It's an energetic shift. Everything is energy. And so is all the mind clutter that you have going on. And when you shift all this energy, everything in your reality starts shifting, your life starts shifting, all of the things you're doing start shifting. All the things you're creating for yourself start shifting. Life starts shifting. It starts feeling like you. And there was this class that I did called The Heart's Way Home. And it was, to me, one of the most beautiful classes because it was like a reconnection class to yourself, to following your heart. And I was inspired to do that after my transplant, to kind of share like a map on how to find your way home. And a lot of that has to do with intuition and following your dreams and following your heart and energy shifting and beliefs and getting reconnected to who you are in realignment. So all of this is about that. We're going to talk more about that in the next video, but I just wanted to come on and share a little bit about this kind of journey about reconnecting to self-trust, because self-trust is, we have to be able to start strengthening this over and over and over. And how do you do that? You have to start following the feeling. And how do you start following the feeling? You got to learn how to hear it. And you can't hear it when life is crazy and you're going and everything feels off. You got to find your path again. You got to give yourself a reset. You got to allow yourself to come back to who you are and get reconnected. Connect the cord, the plug. Because your intuition's always speaking to you. Always, always, always. It's always going in the background. And you know when you're making that gut decision right. You know when it's off. You know when you use it, because the more you use your intuition, the stronger it gets. And the more you don't follow it, the more hard to hear it becomes. You become so separated from that. What? So there's a big part in here about struggle and perfection, and we'll get into that maybe in the next video, but really not trying to be perfect, just trying to be reconnected. It's really helpful to do some grounding meditations when it comes to this, because in order to hear this, we got to reduce a lot of that clutter. So that's all I'm going to share with you today about trusting yourself, and I can't wait for you to watch video 2. Talk to you soon. Bye.